Okay, this time I have an excuse. For the past few months, I've probably worked on more games than grains of sand at the local beach, and I finished a total of 0 of them. This was getting annoying because it was getting tough to think of ideas for games, and then I would end up just being too lazy to plan them out anyways. So as any game developer does, I look towards game jam.
Oh my god, bro.
Okay, that wasn't an option yet, so I decided to look up a random game idea generator. No. Okay, this'll do. Okay, so my given prompt was upgrade yourself. I pretty much had no idea what to start off with, so I just added a player. Unity has a new input system that I decided to use for the movement, and I ended up with this. Now that's pretty cool, but what's even cooler is shooting enemies. And if you want to shoot enemies, you actually need enemies. I had a gun to the player so now it could shoot. I also made it so you can change the values and have a machine shotgun thing. It was time to add enemies. I never really worked with enemies before, especially ones that move, and I wanted them to move, so it was time to think something up. I don't really know how, but I somehow managed to get some movement, and the enemy can actually shoot, so this is good. The cool thing about this script is that I can tile it, so I created 5 other enemies, each one a different shape with different stats. Okay, after around 4 hours I had working enemies that could shoot and spawn randomly around the map. I also added a new game overlay that showed a stopwatch, health bar, score multiplier, and eventually power-ups. Now with that done, it was time to work on what the game was actually supposed to be. A game where you upgrade yourself. It was time to serenade myself in the most fun activity I think I've ever done in my entire life, which was making a skill tree. Like, this was actually so fun. I think I almost died at one point because it was so fun. I looked at the tutorial on how to make a skill tree, but then I realized I'm way too good at programming to need a tutorial. Like, imagine using a tutorial. Here's the finished skill tree. You can use the score that you acquire from playing the game and trade them for skill points. With these skill points, you can buy skills that will upgrade your player. I then added a saving and loading system with the help of a Brachy's tutorial, made a temporary play screen, and then sent out the first playtest build. The first playtest report noted many bugs and balances that needed to be added. After I fixed a bunch of stuff, I had another person playtest. There were a bunch of new bugs that I was told about, and it took a really long time to fix them, but I finally got them done. I also used this app called SFXR to make these simple sounds for the game, which really added a nice touch. After one of the playtests, I was asked to make more upgrades, so that is exactly what I did. I added 14 more upgrades. Oh, there they are. I'll get to that eventually. I added a ton more upgrades. The most notable ones were the pets and grapple hook. My idea for the grapple hook was that you pull yourself to enemies and kill them. So I had to add a sensor that tracked all the enemies in a certain range, find the closest one, and auto-lock you to them. If you press a keybind, you get pulled towards the enemy super quickly and deal a ton of damage. This is actually really fun to use since you can chain it. The pet's behavior was pretty similar to the enemies. They stick close to you and shoot the closest target, which protects you in the early stages of the game. I added 3 pets, each one more powerful than before. This actually worked pretty well. One of the last skills I added were power-ups. I added a speed, shield, and score power-up. Each one spawns in different intervals around the map, and I also added these indicators to the overlay. For some reason, they don't actually look too horrible.
Oh my god, bro.
I'm not even gonna go over what I did here, it was so boring. But it finally is done, and it looks... Anyways, I recorded a video of some gameplay, whipped up something in my editing software, and added it as the background to the play screen. Okay, there was one last thing I needed to add. Okay, that can wait.